get this show on the road. Right, hello everybody. Welcome to F2 Round 3 here at Monza. My name is Smithy. I'm back. Sorry for missing last week. I was having internet problems. It's the problem with having Virgin Media internet. For those of you who have Virgin, I sympathise with you. But we're back. 15 people on the grid, which is always lovely to see. Giving F2 some love, as it deserves, because it's a fantastic series. Better than F1, some would say. And by some, I mean just me. So as expected, each week, we've got a nice change in the grid, some new drivers. Some old ones. And by new, I mean I'm just comparing to round 1. I actually didn't see round 2, I'll be honest. Call me a really bad F2 supervisor, because I have no idea who won last week. I was a little bit annoyed with my internet. I also have done a really bad, and I've left session privacy on open. So let's hope no one else joins, because if they do, I'm going to get lashes from the fucking stewards and chav. So I have no idea who's going to win. There's no CC Hypes. I think he's taken a break from being sweaty. Got a few quick people in here that I know. Actually, all 14 people in here are quite quick. And you say 14, don't you mean 15? I'm not counting Gaz, because he is slow. So, I'm expecting to see the likes of Matty and Harvey up there, the usual suspects. I don't know a lot about some of the new drivers. Even some of the ones that I watched around France, the likes of QWERTY, who looked quite quick. Who knows? But I think it's going to be Gaz who's out first. He's so desperate for me to watch him. He's made sure he's come out first so we can watch him absolutely bottle this quali lap. Keeps ranting and raving about how he's just turned off ABS and he's going to go straight on at turn 1. Let's see if he can find his braking point. He's found it, hasn't locked up, hasn't invalidated the first corner. Pretty nice first chicane. Not gonna lie, he's done well. Is he gonna take the tight line round this long right hander? Pretty tight, could be a little bit tighter. Gonna open up a little bit there, which loses him a little bit of time. It's a 28.5 for the first sector. Next chicane looking good as well. We're just going to cut back to Inspector to see what he's set. He's set at 29.4, so 9/10 slower than good old Gaz. He comes around the first Lesmo corner, around Lesmo 2 now. Shout out to me, who when I first started watching F1 thought they were called the lesbian corners. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that on stream, but I just have. Sets 2 line 58.9. Is he going to make the stupid mistake around Ascari? Is he going to spin? Is he going to invalidate? Pretty solid so far. Don't know if he had a little bit of a snap of oversteer there, or that was just lag, but give Gaz props. Been a pretty sturdy lap so far from the Chelsea Red Boy. I mean the quick F1 driver. So we'll see what he can do for his first lap. Bear in mind, first lap, we've got 25 more minutes. But the track could wear down. It's a 1:29.3. I haven't set any times in F2 this game, so I have no idea if that's a good time or not. Good way to tell will be to see what Inspector X sets. Got a yellow flag, it's just someone down. He sets a 1:31.7, so 2.4 seconds slower than good old Gaz. We've got Replica Gaming setting a 31.2. We've got Ives Glasses Set at 31.1. So far, it's looking an absolute rapid lap from Gaz. We're going to pop on board with the Juicy, as he's going to start his lap. I really want to see someone just miss their braking zone into turn 1 and go straight on. Juicy's got a spin in him. He is what they call the pocket of every 2009 primary school kid. Plenty of spins in his pocket. Get the blades out. He's gone a little bit too deep there, so pretty much a dead lap in terms of he's concerned in trying to fight for pole position. We're on board with Trick Pines. He's a tricky tree, this man. Actually looking like a pretty decent lap, actually. It is a decent lap, 29.4, just a tenth off Gaz. Not bad from someone I haven't heard of. I don't know if he was here last week, he certainly wasn't here the first week, but right up there towards the top, so decent lap from him. I think that's Gaz coming into the pits. It is. I think most of the people now are coming into the pits. We hop back on board with Juicy, who hasn't invalidated his lap, but that's surprising. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the top. I think that was Glasses improving to a 130.5, and Gym and Tonic also setting a time. Good old Mikey is stuck on A. Juicy actually goes third with a 130.1, so that just shows that, no disrespect to these guys, either they just set really bad laps or they just haven't got the hang of the F2 cars around this circuit yet, because we saw the Juicy go super deep into the second chicane and he's come out third, so we'll see what happens. We've got an HWA on his outlap, that is Matty, the Matty Goat. On his day is an absolutely brilliant F2 driver. I think what Matty lacks sometimes is consistency. I remember him being, he does very well in sprint races, not so well in features, so we'll see what he can do on his lap. I think most of the people are on their in lap, so we can maybe do a full lap on board with Matty. It done Gaz well, we'll see if it does Matty well. It was a little bit of slide on the back end there, but looks sturdy so far. Some early upshifting, trying to get that stability out of the corner. It's quite an easy corner to spin out of turn 2. You put that power down too early, you're going to be sent spinning. Let's see how he takes the second chicane. You want to nick this inside curb, nick the outside curb, and just one wheel on the exit curb just for that extra traction round the first Lesmo corner. Is he going to stay tight? Is he going to go away? He's going to stay tight. Hop onto this exit curb now to Lesmo 2. Exact same thing. You want to nick that inside curb onto the outside curb. Could take a little bit more. Pretty sturdy so far from Matty. Now we've got a Ascari, which I think is a lot easier in these F2 cars simply because you're not going as fast. But obviously you hop on the wrong curb, you're going to be sent spinning. Let's see what he does. You see just how unstable he is. Oh, and he has to catch him and spins anyway. We've caught our first spinala on the stream as he breaks the poor DHL board. That board had a family, Matty, come on. We've caught our first spin of, I'm sure, many more to go. So Matty's been absolutely embarrassed on the stream. I'm so sorry, mate. I've just the only driver that I've really bigged up so far, and he's the one who spins. I need to stop bigging up Gaz then. Praying for a Gaz spin. So Harvey done an outlap and decided, you know what, don't really feel like setting a lap. He's going straight back into the pits. See who else is on a lap. I think we've got QWERTY on a lap. Lewis the Beast is also on a lap, so hop on board with Lewis the Beast as he comes through Ascari. We've already had one spinner today. Are we going to get another one? Ooh, not too far off it. It's just you got to be careful nicking the inside curve out of Ascari, because that's the one that can really offset you into a spin. But as Lewis just showed, even if you hit that outside curb the wrong way, you're going to be sent for a spin. And I think even with that, losing the exit time down the straight, we're still going to be expecting a provisional pole time. First person into the 128 to 128.9, so decent lap from the ART driver Lewis the Beast. let's hop back on board with QWERTY in what is the best F2 car in the Charus. He's in the wrong car though. You want to be in the other car. I can't remember who is it. Who's the other Charus? I drove in that car for like all of last year, and I can't remember who the other Charus driver is. I can't remember. Someone can remind me in chat if you remember. There you go, QWERTY going pole, 28.5. So that answers my earlier question about whether he was going to carry on his pace. Matty's just set his time, 129.4. So we're getting a little bit quicker now. I had a thought that the 130s and the 131s were a little bit slow. Got two drivers into the 28s. So this is from the first 11 minutes, so I think if someone can set an absolute flyer, we're looking at a pole time maybe a high 27, which I think will be fun. Who else is on a lap? I think we've got a Prema. I think that's... Is that Lethal P? No? That's Gym and Tonic, who's about to start his flying lap. Inspector Rec is right on the backside of Replica Gaming, but he's just decided to cut both corners. That's not legal, my friend. There's Replica in front of him. I think maybe he decided to back out and was like, I'm just far too close. The slipstream is powerful in F2. It's not as powerful as the one in F1, simply because in F1 you've got ERS that can just give you that extra punch. But it's still going to save you a couple of tenths down the straights, but you don't really want to be in dirty air around corners in already quite unstable cars. Matty is slowing down, that's fine, so I think it is going to be Replica who's going to be the next person to set a lap. He's currently just about a tenth behind his best time, which is already the slowest on the board, so he needs to absolutely nail a parabolica here in order to see him jump up the standings. Got yellow flags. Yeah, it's just cars slowing down. Got the Matty pulling over. Inspector also behind Replica, maybe just looking for that drag. He's going to go into the pits actually, and so is Inspector, so I think maybe Replica realising that he wasn't going to better his current time. We've got Gym and Tonic coming around the parabolica. Let's see what he can set. It's looking like a fairly decent time so far. Is he going to get into the 29s? He doesn't. 30.1 goes a second quicker. P6 for him currently. We've got Harvey setting an outlap at the moment, or is that Gaz? No, that is Harvey, so we'll stay on board with Harvey for now since there's no one else on a lap at the moment. Turn 1's going to nick the inside, nick the outside. Nice chicane from Harvey, very nice. You can take the tighter line round down now towards what you could say is turn 3 or more turn 4. Nails that beautifully. A little bit of an early upshift. I think maybe he could have waited a little bit longer for that, but looking like a decent lap so far. He's got a car ahead of him. Let's hope that Prema does let him by. Maybe we'll give him cheeky slipstream. He's going to pull over to the left. Harvey's going to use as much of that as we can. And we've got a spin. Gaz has spun my dream. Let's see if we can get the damage on board with Trick Pines as he binned it through Lesmo 1. Oh, he has. I think Gaz might have gone too deep into Lesmo 1 and has hit the barrier. So he is P3. I'm fully expecting him to come down, but even then, it's not the worst case scenario for Gaz, but I'm sure he'd like to be further up. Harvey's going to set his time now. He's going to go ahead of his Campos teammate, or teammate in quotation marks, and goes P3. So decent lap from him. Trick Pines is on a lap. He's 2 tenths up currently, which would put him above Gaz, which isn't what Gaz is going to want to hear. Goes for the wider line. Some people like to take a tight line into Parabolica, some like to take the wider line. Doesn't choose to take the shortest run to the line, and that puts him P5, so certainly time to gain just from the final corner from Trick Pines. always better to take the tightest line to the line. It's the shortest run. And you might not think it's a lot of time to gain, but believe it or not, there is a lot. Finest margins, as you can see with the gap between him and Gaz in P4. I think that's the Juicy who might be setting a lap. Here we go, he's taking the shortest run to the line, hopping onto that white curb, and he goes to P5. Well, a millisecond quicker than Trip Pines. So there you go, Trip Pines would have taken that shorter run. He'd be ahead of the Juicy right now. So P5 from the Juicy, nice lap from him. Got Replica on an out lap. We've got Harvey, who is either spun or is just slowed down out of the Scari. We'll hop on board back with Trip Pines, who's currently a 10th.5 down on his time. I thought he was doing a back-to-back lap. He is, because he's now up on his time. Goes deep into a Scari, and that's going to be the end of his lap. Somehow that hasn't invalidated him. Doesn't matter anyway, because he hops onto the gravel. He's definitely not going to go quicker. How has that not invalidated? Cody, please fix your game. Fully expecting him to go into the pits now, which means we will jump on board with Replica, who currently 4/10 down on his time, so he's had an absolute stinker through the first chicane. So let's hope he can find some more time through the second sector now, through the two Lesmos. He's got a car in front of him as well, that's the Juicy, so hopefully he'll let him by without any trouble. Still have 4 cars that are yet to set a lap, as we've lost Matty, who has left the session. I don't know if he has to go or if he's lagged out. We'll have to wait and see. Not an awful Scari from Replica actually, it's one of the more tidier ones that I've seen, but obviously tidy doesn't always mean quickest. I don't think the guys at the top will be sweating looking at Replica's sector time, so let's hope he can get a little bit higher up than last place at the moment. Doesn't, 2 tenths down, it's at 131.4, so he's going to need to find a couple more tenths to get out of that. We've got our first few drivers who haven't set a lap on their outlaps now. We've got Lethal Pete and Plazy. While there's nothing really happening, I'm going to quickly take a drink. QWERTY is retired, so maybe he thinks his 28.5 is good enough for pole. We'll have to wait and see. Let's hop on board with Lethal Pete, as he is ahead. We've lost Inspector. He's another one who has retired in the pits. Obviously remember that long qualifying works a little bit different in F1 and F2. F2 you're only given 2 tyre sets, you're given the softest compound and the hardest compound. So no one looking to dabble on the hardest compound just to set a time. But yeah, you want to do as little laps on the softs as you can, but obviously it doesn't matter too much, you do get fresh sets. I'm hoping, like I said, I didn't watch last week, I'm hoping everyone has now wrapped their head around the rules, the fact that you can't pit the first 2 laps, you can't pit under a VSC, and that there is a second race afterwards. So we're not going to have what we had in the first week. How is that not an invalidation? Oh, apparently you only get 1 tyre for quali, so they've changed that since last year, so they've made it even more cancer. Because usually they gave you the softs and then they gave you whatever the harder compound was, which would be the mediums or hards, but Harvey's just told me you only get softs this year, so they've made long qualifying even more futile, which is amazing to hear. I'm pretty sure, unless they've changed it again, these aren't the softs that you start the feature race on. I'm pretty sure you get a fresh pair of softs, and if it is, then that's just even more stupid. But then again, even if you do start on these softs, like it works in F1, it's not the end of the world, because you're maximum doing 7-8 laps on these soft tyres. As soon as they start dropping lap time, you usually pit for the harder compound anyway, and you don't really touch the softs in the sprint unless you crash, and at that point you're basically out the race anyway. So we'll see what happens. Let's hop on board with DJ Rocker. Hasn't set a lap yet, so I have no idea what his time's listed. Yeah, these tires just for quality. Yeah, that's what I assumed, which is why I'm surprised that people retire with only 1 or 2 laps, because, you know, while I understand that your track times are gonna worsen with how bad your tyres are, the track's also gonna wear down. Especially for a track like Monza, where just down the straights themselves, you can gain 1 or 2 tenths just from the track wearing down. Which is why I understand people like Travis, who literally waits the last like 5 minutes to set a lap, because, you know, that's when your softs are fresh, your track is fresh. But obviously, you risk invalidating your lap and not setting a lap. What are you, me in the last race of season 1 in Australia? There's a reference to some of you oldies here who are back in season 1. So Replica is just parked in a Ascari at the moment. I think he's just waiting for everyone else to come across. Replica is now being disqualified because of that, which means he should start in last place. There we go, he's now gone. Took a while for the game to sort of update there. Plazy is coming into the pits. Once again, they still haven't updated the UI, so I can't see how long is left in the session as Trick Pines crosses the line 6 tenths down. I don't know if that was an outlap or not, we'll have to wait and see. Harvey is on his outlap. DJ Rocker, I thought had spun. I think that's just the yellow flag lingering there from Replica's disqualification. So he was around 9 tenths up on his time, which would put him provisional P4 at the moment. So he can have a good Parabolica, which looks pretty sturdy. Is he going to take the shortest run to line? He is indeed. Or more kind of. He is and he isn't. Sort of couldn't decide there. It's a 29.2, puts him P4, so decent lap there. We've got 8 minutes left, so a lot more than what I actually thought. I thought we only had about 3 or 4 minutes left, but there's still plenty of time for people to set laps. Let's jump on board with Travis, who is technically the only person who hasn't set a lap so far. So I fully expect him to do this lap and then set another one after that. Doesn't have a Spinala moment on the exit of Ascari. What's my prediction for Chaplin, as I haven't seen his sex times? I think he'll go P5. Got my hopes up for Chav. Let's hope he doesn't lose his back end around Parabolica as we see him chopstick in the steering wheel, things we love to see. I think my hopes were too high. He's P11. Oh god. I'm sorry, Travis. Harvey's binned it. Harvey's binned it. Where's the Prema? I couldn't see where I was going. He's binned it on the exit. What is the barrier doing? I'm glad that was on stream. Oh, what is this game? Barrier absolutely freaking out there. I was more looking at the barrier than the actual carcass of the car. So we've lost both Campos cars to just bidding it. Absolutely incredible game. £70 odd game, by the way, if you bought the deluxe edition. And yet, instead of fixing the bugs with this game, they're updating F1 2019, a game that's 2 years old. Because who's still playing F1 2019? When I'm pretty sure they added 2020 to Game Pass like a couple of days ago, so even people who don't want to buy the games or just haven't got the money to, you can just upgrade to last year's game for free if you have Game Pass. So 6 minutes left of the session as we see Jim and Tonic just decide he wants to do the Austrian Bottas and just cut some grass. Also, I apologise in moments like this, it just turns into a Smithy ranting about how the state of this game. I don't know if I have short memory syndrome, but when F1 2020 came out, I do not remember it having this many bugs. There was obviously bugs, every game has bugs when it comes out, but this is the most broken game, or F1 game, because there are other games outside of the F1 franchise that I can think of that were brought out absolutely broken. Here's one for all you oldies. Who remembers when GTA Online was launched back in whenever it was, 2013? And you had to do that one race at the beginning and you literally just couldn't get into a lobby. Back when GTA was on 2 discs on old consoles. On the 360, as Mr. Lethal Pete's had a spin on, but caught it. fair play to him. He's had another one, caught it again. Get me back on topic. Just turns into episode 1 of the F1ABEEZ podcast as he almost spins again. Can we fair play to Pete? He's had 3 spins and he's caught all 3. Gaz and Harvey should take some notes. This is how you catch a spin, lads. So pretty much most of the grid has retired. We've only got 6 drivers left. Do I expect any of them to challenge pole? I think Lewis the Beast 4/10 is reasonable if he can find that time. I don't think any of the other guys will challenge for pole, but I think they'll certainly want to get higher. Like Savell Glasses and Chav, who have certainly got pace in these F2 cars. Who want to be higher. I don't know too much about the Suprema drivers when it comes to their optimum pace. The Juicy, I think, is probably about where I expected him to, but he's only a 1/10.5 off being on the 2nd row, so he could certainly put himself up there. So we've got no choice but to... Did you say my Gatesy was Plazy? That's how what I've always called you. Is it just Plays? I presume it's just Plays, but I've always called it Plazy. I think Plazy sounds better. Or called him Plays then. Even though Plazy just rings better. Listen, there's one problem that I have, and it's pronunciation of gamer tags. But then again, Chav knows all about that. Pretty sure he called Lewis just Lewiski for about a season and a half. Pretty sure he still does, actually. Pete's retired, and he's had a spin at Ascari. Just Plays, but you can call me Plazy if you want. Do you know what? I'll try to call you Plays, because I understand that's the argument of just call me whatever you want, but if Plazy slips out, I apologise. That barrier is still just freaking out. Harvey hit the barrier so hard he sent it to a different dimension. I really hope that that's appearing for the other drivers. See, Matty, the difference with that is you're adding an extra letter to my name. I'm saying Plazy because he's got 2 Z's, so you got the Plays, so you got the Z at the end, and then you got the extra Z, so I go Plazy. You can't really say my name wrong. Believe it or not, people still do. To be fair, when I first joined F1ABEEZ, before I heard Chav say it on stream, I was pronouncing the Juicy as the Duke. He is the Duke. So, pronunciation's a funny thing. It really is. So Lewis is on a fast lap. Despite Chav and Jim and Tonic being on a lap, I'm going to spectate him because he's currently in the run-in for pole position. Mr. J. Smith. Yeah. Nice. I have the most English name. Anyone English should be able to pronounce my name. So Lewis to beat first sector time, currently down on his last time, so he needs to find 4/10. He hasn't even found 1 millisecond so far. I lied. Let's jump aboard Trav. Trav's a second up on his time. Could block him right up onto the 2nd row. Goes wide through Parabolica. I've got a sneeze coming on. Let's hope it doesn't come before Chav finishes his lap. He's going to take the line, and it's P6. Not bad at all from Travis. Let's jump on board with Mr. I Spam A. I don't think he's going to improve. He definitely isn't. So, one more person to cross the line, I think, because the other guys aren't going to get out in time. And that is Lewis the Beast. He was a 10th up through the Sector 2 line, unless he has found 3/10 just through the Parabolica, pretty much, and the exit of Ascari. He's going to stay P2. Has he got it? Oh, close. Does set a 128.5, but he's 600ths off QWERTY. So QWERTY will start on pole. I was thinking that Chav was maybe doing a back-to-back. No, it's Gin and Tonic. His name is Jim and Tonic. I'm calling him Jim. Okay. It's not hard. If you want to say your name, as you guys are saying it, spell it that way. My name is Plays, then call yourself Plays then. Get rid of the second Z. And change it to an S. If it's the Juicy, make it DA and then Juicy with a Y at the end. If you want Gin and Tonic, make it Gin and Tonic. Call him Gin and Tonic. Well, Gin and Tonic's going to currently call himself Mr. Spinala because he's just spun again. We're going to wait for everyone to sort themselves out. We're going to wait for that barrier to sort itself out. Hopefully that's fixed for the race, because I would be too focused on that barrier instead of the actual fighting through Ascari. My name is Valtteri Bottas. What makes it even funnier about me talking about spelling is you spelt Valtteri wrong. Matty good. Shout out to the bot in chat. Matty, can you get rid of that? Because I'm currently not logged in on my phone, so I can't get rid of that. Bigfollows.com. Shout out to them. So QWERTY on pole, but not by a lot. Lewis the Beast almost pipping him, but he has to settle for P2. We've got Spinala number 2, Harvey P3, managed to keep that. DG Rocker P4. Gaz, good old Spinala 1, managed to hold on to 5th. Travis in 6th with Juicy in 7th. Cheeky Dams pair in there. We've got Trip Pines P8. Matty P9. We got Plays P10. Gin and Tonic P11. L Glasses P12. Inspector Rec P13. Lethal Pete 14th. And I believe the last one was the disqualification. Matty go. Well done, Matty. Thank you for moderating. Would have had pole if you didn't mess up Ascari. Oh, that's shit. Yeah, Ascari's not fun. This is a track that I absolutely hate for F1, but really like for F2, simply because it's slower. So you're not going through Ascari at like 200 miles an hour and you need the reaction times of a fucking real F1 driver. When you guys get old, you'll realise your reaction time is nowhere near as good as it is. It's why originally I was stunned when you look at all these esports and WRR drivers and they're all like 14 and 15, and then you realise that's probably when their reaction time is at its peak. I realised that back when I was like 14 and 15 playing FPSs and my sensitivity was on like max because I could deal with that, and now I have it on like 3 because I'm old and slow. So we have got a formation lap. So let's hope that doesn't mess anything up. Let's sort out the settings. We'll do gap to leader for the start. Details, always on position changes for the start. Telemetry we don't need. Lap data is always lovely. Beautiful stuff. So, people I'm expecting to jump up. I'm expecting L Glasses to head up the field a little bit. I think Matty and Plays will both make positions off the start too. I think Gaz will maybe look to get a little bit higher as we see DG Rocker deciding he doesn't really care about warming up his tyres, he's just going to cover them in grass. I think Harvey might be looking to push for the lead, but as we've seen, QWERTY and Lewis aren't slackers in these F2 cars. They've got the pace. So I'm expecting maybe about a 4-way fight until Gaz and Harvey both inevitably spin. It'll be a fight between these two for the dub. And obviously a lot of the big fighting in these feature races happen towards that pole point for sprint, which is 8th place. So the midfield always gets nice and scrappy towards the end. Obviously penalties are going to be a big thing as well. Exit of Ascari is always a hot point for picking up those warnings. Running wide through the Parabolica can be one. Cutting the second chicane. And the exit of Lesmo 2. They're always the ones that catch me out driving around Monza. So 15 laps. We're expecting race lap times of probably around the 1:30.2s and 3s. So we're probably looking at around about maybe a 25-minute feature race. El Glasses has clearly hit someone. He's been disqualified. So we've got a nice long rundown towards turn 1, where it's always inevitable that someone is going to miss their braking point and someone's going to get punted, and at least half the grid's going to lose their front wings. So let's hope everyone brakes at the right time. Also making sure that no one brakes too early, because that always causes carnage. We'll see what happens. Everyone's going to line up onto the grid now. Let's see what we've got in store for us. Hopefully we've got a good feature race. We have got lights on. We have got a yellow flag. The lights are on. The lights are out. We're still not going. We're going now. We're away. I think that's a Dams that has jumped most of the grid already. We've got cars moving up to left and right. Lewis has managed to pip the leader into turn 1. Let's see what we can do. QWERTY's going to go around the outside. There's Harvey going up the inside. We've got front wing carnage. I think that was the Dams of the Juicy who lost his front wing. We've got a spinner at the back. That's Mayhem's. So Lewis the Beast got caught out by QWERTY going around the outside. He's now dropped down to 4th, which has allowed the 2 Camposes to get ahead. Let's jump on board with Plays. He might see Lewis try and hook it up the inside of the chicane. He's going to go around the outside of Lewis, who might have just lost 3 positions. But he's spun. Plays has spun. We have our first spinala of the race. I was about to say Lewis has lost 3 positions in the space of a couple of corners, but he's managed to gain one back with Plays spinning. Let's jump on board with Harvey, who's on the back of his teammate. Let's now swap it back to intervals so I can keep an eye on the gaps. We've got another yellow flag at the back. I think that's Plazy spinning again. I thought the Juicy lost his front wing, but it might be Chav because he's putting Travis under pressure here. He's going to go around the outside of the Ascari. Manages to stay ahead, Trav does. We've got DG Rocker also getting past Replica down in P9. Plazy's now dropped right back. We'll jump aboard with Lewis, who's looking to gain up those positions he lost in the first few corners. He's going to go side by side with Harvey, going to try and throw it up the inside of the Parabolic. Got to be careful that they don't touch. It's a big spin zone here. Going side by side into the Parabolic. Harvey just staying ahead. We've got another yellow flag at the back. I think that's El Glasses who has binned it also, so he's back there. So QWERTY's managed to hold on to P1 for now, but Gaz is going to try and put him under pressure. QWERTY goes defensive, which means Gaz is going to have the race in line, which might give him a good exit. Coming down towards the second chicane, gets a really good exit, gets on that power nice and early too. The Juicy picks up the first penalty of the day. Let's see if Gaz can make a run down to QWERTY onto the second chicane. Is he going to go inside or outside? Looks like he's going to take the inside line. Is QWERTY going to go defensive? He isn't. Gaz is going to look to just throw his nose up there. Knows he isn't really going to get past there. Hoping maybe trying to put QWERTY off. We've got the 2 Dams cars fighting. And we've got another spin at the back. We've got a major spin. Inspector Rec is off. Don't know if he clashed maybe with Replica or Gin and Tonic, but he's going to now have to wait for the entire grid to get through. It sounded like he had a puncture there for a minute. I think that's just the graphics being graphic-y. We'll sort of DG Rocket on the back of Trix Pines down in P7. He's the closest car at the moment. Don't think he's going to throw it up the inside of the Scar. It'd be quite a silly move if he made that. But the rest of the grid looking to settle down now. I think Inspector Rec has completely burnt out his tyres. Trix Pines almost losing it there through the exit of Ascari, and now his exit has been compromised. So here comes DG Rocker. No DRS needed for this. He should make the move around the outside. We're going to see on the dynamic cam, are they going to go side by side? Are we going to get a spin? Fairly nice driving between these two, and he's not going to hold it off yet. Almost going into the back of him there, Trix Pines. Harvey setting the fastest lap of the race so far. DRS should be active from the next DRS zone. So we'll see what happens. We've also got the Juicy on the back. I'm sure I saw part of his front wing come off. It must have been someone else, because I was sure I saw a Dam's front wing. Interesting. So no early pit stoppers. So maybe no one did get damaged, or whoever got damaged, it was very minuscule. It could also have been a side pod damage. To be fair. And that's Trav going wide onto the grass, so he's lost the position to his teammate, having to brake suddenly there as well. Inspector is our first person into the pits. He's going to have to do a long stint on those tyres. Let's jump on board with F1ABEEZ, who is still behind Harvey at the moment in the fight for the final podium position. The yellow flag at the back. The Juicy is retired, and he might have taken his teammate with him. Both Dam's cars out in the space of one corner. I have absolutely no clue what's happened there. We've got a safety car. The Juicy is out, and just up the road Trav is out, so I don't know if those two might have gone into each other, but both Dam's cars are out. Thank God for them that there's no constructors, because that'd be a heavy hit for Dams. But both Travis and the Juicy are out on lap 3, which means the safety car is out. They can pit this lap. Their mandatory pit stop will count if they all pit, so we should expect to see everyone into the pits. QWERTY is going in. Gaz is staying out, which is an interesting decision. Lewis is staying out. EG Rocker is staying out. I think pitting is the right decision, personally. QWERTY is taken off softs and put on softs, which has completely messed up his race, because he's going to now have to pit again. Harvey is on mediums, which is the correct decision. So I think Harvey is in the best position to win this race now. I'm very surprised that the front six didn't pit, I'll be honest. You definitely can pit lap 3 going into lap 4. So that is their mandatory pit stop. QWERTY is technically the provisional race leader at the moment, but he's put on softs, and I'll be very, very surprised. Presumably this safety car is going to come in around about lap 6. I don't think it does count. It counted last year, lap 3 going into lap 4. It only gave me a 2-stop option. Interesting. I'm 99% sure that you can pit lap 3 into lap 4. Like 99% sure. I've pitted on lap 3 many times last year, and it counted as my mandatory stop. So either I'm lying, the game has changed, or the game has lied to you. And if it has, I feel sorry for you guys. Well, I guess time will tell. Like I said, I'm 99% sure that you can pit lap 3 into lap 4. So we will wait and see. So if I'm right, I'm fully expecting Harvey just to walk away with it now, because the cars behind him didn't really have his pace in qualifying. And if I'm wrong, the race is now in Gaz's hands, because it's proven that he's got pace. He was putting the leader under pressure first 2 laps. There's a car at the back who has spun. Trix Pines has spun under the safety car. Just checking Marcus Ericsson isn't anywhere. Nope, I think he should have spun on his own. QWERTY's got a 5-second penalty for contact with Matty. So QWERTY's strategy, whether or not that pit stop counted or not, isn't good for him, because he's now got a 5-second penalty. Just check if he's got a broken front wing. He has, he's missing a right end plate. So it's gone from bad to worse. 2 stoppers, you have to stretch the mediums. Yeah, but you can make the mediums to the end from here. Safety car stays out for another lap. Maybe even longer as Blaze is back into the pits. Yeah, but you can easily make it to the end, Harvey. The game is stupid like that. Usually when you pit onto the mediums, they go to like 40% anyway, so you probably just have to take them to like 55 or 60. So QWERTY has to pit, because there's no way he's going to make it to the end on these softs or with a broken front wing, so he'll come in for mediums now most likely. It's interesting, Lewis saying that has now put doubt into my head about how F2 works. I'm pretty sure you can pit lap 3. I'm going to keep saying that until I actually see them cross the line and it says that they keep their position or they get disqualified. So with Harvey saying that it's a 2-stop, it makes a little bit more sense why QWERTY or his team would put that Charouz on softs. Either way, you would still try to extend mediums. if I was in their shoes. Safety car still not coming in as we've got Plays at the back trying to catch up. He's on softs. Let's just double check what tyres everyone's on. So everyone pitted for mediums apart from Mayhem's and QWERTY. Playsy's obviously on new softs because he had to pit again. And the top 6 all did not pit under the safety car. So maybe they're hoping for a safety car later on in the race, trying to extend the softs. QWERTY's got another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lanes. That's his race practically over. We've also got Glasses, who has decided to pit. So one of the top 6s who stayed out is pitting, which is an interesting decision because he would have come out maybe 8th or 9th, and now he comes out in 12th. Here comes Plazy, who might actually... Nope, he's going to come back in. Trip Pines has got a 5-second penalty. We've got more action behind the safety car than anywhere else. He's hit Inspector. Has Inspector got damage? Inspector is missing his entire right front wing pretty much. So no clue what's happened there, if Trip Pines has brake tested him or there's been a problem through turn 1. It's not hard not to hit people under the safety car, lads. Come on. Well, I was fully expecting the safety car to come in this lap. I'm now expecting it to stay out an extra lap. Which I think puts any doubts that those guys who pitted on mediums thinking they have to stop again completely out the window, because those mediums will make it absolutely fine now. So, meter race predictions. I think Harvey will win. I think... Oh no, he's going to come in this lap. I don't know actually. I think Gaz and Lewis could have an absolute mega stint on those mediums. This is going off if I'm correct. If I'm not correct, then it will probably be Gaz, Lewis and DG Rocker. It will stay as it is. Safety cars coming in, they're all going to warm up their tyres, which I never bother doing in F2 because your tyres stay pretty warm anyway, unless you're at the speed of my Hyundai in real life. So will Gaz go early or will he go late? Some like to go nice and early round Parabolica, try and catch them out, which he has done. Some like to go late. He's gone early. So we'll see if he's caught absolutely anyone out at all. He's done pretty well. Anyone close? We've got Harvey on the back of Matty, who might actually have enough speed to make a move into turn 1. Matty's going to go defensive, take the inside line. Here comes Harvey round the outside, just clear of him. I think Harvey might have actually broken just to let him go. So Matty down in P6. Harvey's now going to make his run up the field. We've got some carnage back here with Inspector, Pines and El Glasses. El Glasses is hit Trip Pines and now goes into the grass. So he's now down in 11th and takes the tighter line, so might be close enough to make a darting run down the inside. We've got Jim and Tonic right behind DG Rocker in the fight for P3. Oh, I caught that right in time. Replica's had a little bit of a spin. He's going to just tumble straight down. I saw Matty getting real close. Just managed to jump on in time to see Replica losing it. So he's now at the back. We've already got trains forming. Jim and Tonic going side by side with DG Rocker up Ascarian. That was only going to end one way. Jim and Tonic has spun. He had a big enough gap to not lose too many positions though. He's going to be down in P7. Leeds and Pete should get past him. Lewis the Beast right on the back of Gaz here. I was about to say before that spin, we've already got some trains forming with the front 4 starting to break away. Here come those guys who didn't pit. Gaz has sped in the pit lane, which isn't good for him, so Harvey goes through. Matty's also sped in the pit lane. Let's jump on Pens quickly. So a lot of people speeding in the pit lane. It's not hard, boys, just brake. So I think it was Lewis, one of the only front guys who didn't get a penalty here. So if Lewis is correct and they can't pit, he is now almost definitely going to win this race. But Harvey's going to go through. He's already built up a 4.7 second gap. So if the pit stop is legal, which I'm pretty sure it is, Harvey's going to absolutely walk away with this feature race win as it stands. We've got Lethal Pete and a nice train behind him. El Glasses has got a penalty. Let's see where Gaz has come out. So Gaz has come out in 9th. He's got to find 30 seconds to Harvey, who's on 4-lap older mediums. We've got Trick Pines and Lethal Pete going side by side. Lethal Pete has already seen his teammate spin through Ascari. Is he going to try and go side by side again? Nope, he's just going to say, do you know what, you can have that position. I'm going to try and get you back down the next straight. And he is. Oh, he goes just in time. Trick Pines has a spin. Lethal Pete stamped on the brakes, didn't want to get collected, but luckily Ghostin actually doing its job. Which means that El Glasses is just allowed to have 2 positions in one corner. He goes up into P2. Absolutely rubbing his hands together there, El Glasses. We'll catch up on Pens again towards the end of the race so we can make some predictions. El Glasses did get P2. He might not keep it for long though, because here comes Lethal Pete down into turn 1. Is he going to try and brake later? Nope, he's just going to hold back for now. I'll get you again sometimes, because that's what happens. El Glasses has misjudged his braking point, goes across those bumps. Interesting. If Pete was more alongside him, he would have a right to have that position, but he pulled back, so El Glasses can just keep it and probably gets a warning for it as well. We've got QWERTY, we've got Inspector Reg around the outside. Didn't see him till late. He's gone straight around the outside of Lethal Pete. QWERTY's followed him onto the grass, so he's lost the position to Replica Gaming. We've got Trick Pines, who's had that spin. He's back behind Plays now. Harvey's extended that gap to 11 seconds. He's absolutely shot off. Even if he does have to pit again, he might actually have enough time to build up a pit stop gap the way things are going. Mayhems has had a pit. He's now down in last and will probably stay there. Let's have a look at that gap to the leader. So Gaz has actually lost time to Harvey, 31.7. It was obviously around about 30 when he came out of the pits. So instead of gaining, he's actually losing time to those cars in front. Trick Pines has got past Plazy on the exit of the Ascari chicane. We'll hop on board with QWERTY as there's sort of a 3-way fight going on at the moment between him, Replica and Lethal Pete, and I think it's going to be Replica who might not even need DRS to get past Lethal Pete, but the saving grace for Pete is he's got DRS from the car in front. Is Replica going to go diving up the inside? He is. He's going to brake super late. Is it going to be late enough? Brilliant move from Replica Gaming. Was much braver on the brakes, didn't outbrake himself, and up into P3 he goes, and that's 2 positions lost from Lethal Pete in the space of 1 corner. That's best overtake of the race so far from Replica down into the first corner. We've got some fighting at the back. Harvey is pitted. Now interesting. He's out on softs, so either he has just said mediums aren't going to make it to the end, he's had a spin, or he does have to pit. Now I have absolutely no idea who's going to win this race. We've got Inspector Rec on the back of El Glasses. Absolutely anyone can win this race now. I have no idea what's going on. Oh! Inspector Rec. Sorry for all your ears. That caught me off guard. He saw a gap. He went for it. Pete has spun out of Ascari. It's all kicking off now. We've seen Inspector Rec hit the bottom of the bridge. Somehow didn't lose his wheel there. We've got another safety car. For the first time in a while with me spectating or commentating a race, I have absolutely no idea who's going to win. El Glasses is going to pit. QWERTY's going to go for track position. I think at this point I would not pit. I think I would go for track position. I'll be very, very surprised if Gaz pits. Incredible. 2 laps ago he was 31 seconds behind the leader. He is now going to be up, most likely, into P3. Wow. That's actually just stunned me, that lap. So Inspector trying to go side by side, has hit the bridge. He then sort of, I don't know if he lagged or reset the track or something. That brought out the safety car, which has completely just flipped strategy on its head, because half of the grid have pitted, either for new front wings or just to get fresh tyres. L Glasses is missing half of his left front wing, even if he just pitted, so either he didn't want to change his front wing or he just lost it coming out of the pit lane. Jim and Tonic has got a drive through for speeding under the safety car. This is a good time to update on pens. So at the moment, once the grid comes back together... Oh, Harvey spun. Harvey. The curse of the Harvey spins in F1 carries on in F2. Bro, you were like 15 seconds ahead. You could have let the AI drive and you probably would have won the race. Disappointing. Disappointing. So technically, as I was saying, Lewis is in the best position to win this race now because he's the only one really in the top 10 that hasn't got a penalty. I think the best result that Harvey can really hope for now is maybe trying to grab a sprint pole position. He's got a lot of cars ahead of him that he is quicker than. It's just getting through them in what I'm expecting to be about 3 laps. So it'll be interesting to see how this ends, because I haven't got an absolute Scooby. Had to give myself a challenge. That's one way of putting it. So just as a tyre update, and that's the wrong one, Jack. So the top 7 are all on mediums. Those cluster of drivers all pitted for softs. So Glasses and Plazy are going to be absolutely rapid off the start. It's just how many positions can they gain, because Plays is already in a good position in terms of he's got that sprint pole if he wants it. I don't know what the safety car is doing, because the safety car has stopped out of Lesmo 2. Is it waiting for the leader? Or are we back on the way for green flag conditions? It's still safety car, so we're not underway. So, was everyone technically a lap down? I don't know what the safety car's doing there. It's also stopped in a really weird position, because if it was waiting for the cars, it usually stops around the sector 1 line. I don't know if this is the game being weird. Are we going to finish the race under safety car, but technically not, because the safety car isn't moving? I want to hop on board with QWERTY just to see if the safety car is going to come back into play, or we're literally just going to spend the last 3 laps under safety car conditions. Whoa. So the safety car's back out. The safety car is working. Don't know why it stopped. So that allows everyone to catch up. We've got another bot in chat. So we might actually have even less race laps to go. We might only have 2, which is good news for those guys who are on mediums. Not good news for those guys who are down there on softs. Not good news for someone like Harvey. Plays has just left the session though. He's going to want to jump back before green flags, because he's in a decent position at the moment. So if it remains like this, Lewis is going to win the race. Safety car is coming in. QWERTY is going to hold back, which is an interesting decision, because here comes Q. I was about to call him QPEF, it's Gaz. Could he get P1? He's going to try on the outside, maybe try and brake later. He's going to go side by side. Just hold back for now, but there's Lewis the Beast fronting up the inside. Gaz is just going to get his elbows out. Let's hop aboard with Lewis as we see this fight. Actually, we'll stay aboard with Gaz, who needs to not only get past QWERTY, but also build up a gap if he wants to win this race. He's going to take the tighter line down towards the next chicane. Is he going to try around the outside? He's just going to brake early, let QWERTY go ahead for now. maybe look for a better exit, which he looked like he got. I think he just had to bog himself down not to go into the back of QWERTY. Is he going to try at the inside through the second Lesmo corner? I think he'd be smart just to hang back for now, which he does, of course. Looks for that better exit. There it is. He should have DRS as well for that extra drag. Doesn't have DRS. Oh, of course it's safety car. There's no more DRS. I'm stupid. Ignore me. But just on exit, they're going to go side by side into Ascari. Are they going to try it? Someone's going to come out on top. It's going to be Gaz who has to go off the track but gets the move done. Legal enough. Side by side to Ascari. So Gaz into the lead. Lewis is up into third. Any big moves. Plays has dropped back to 10th. Obviously he's not back. Replica is dropping back. Here comes DJ Rocker up into P4. Matty in P7. So none of those soft runners have managed to make too much ground up as it stands. We're on to the final lap. Let's do pens quickly. So Gaz has got to build up a 5-second gap, which I don't think he will in time. He's also got to build up enough gaps to actually keep P2, because DG Rocker is right behind him as well. So we're going to see a real big mix-up in the grid. We've got cars in the pits. I think Plays' AI has just sent him into the pits. Jim and Tonic has also come into the pits for some reason. There's El Glasses and Trick Pines fighting out. If I'm El Glasses, I'm probably just sitting back. I'll take pole position at this moment in time. Harvey has got fastest lap, which will take 2 points off one of the front runners, but isn't going to get him any extra points. QWERTY has gone wide onto the gravel, which means that Lewis DeBeast is going to come through. He's got to be careful though, because any spin, any mistake now from Lewis DeBeast, his win is going to disappear. How aggressive is QWERTY going to be to try and defend P2? Not too aggressive. Lewis DeBeast through to P2, and as long as there's no funny business through the Parabolica, which there might be because they're going to go side by side once again. We've got a DNF at the back, and that's Inspect who's lost it around the long right-hander. Here comes QWERTY, here comes Lewis DeBeast. QWERTY's going to go around the outside, but too deep enough because Lewis DeBeast is going to come back at him. Gaz is going to cross the line as provisional winner. He's not going to win the race though, because Lewis DeBeast didn't pick up any penalties. P1. Gaz gets P2. DG Rocker getting P3 by 2/10. Not bad at all. QWERTY down in P4. Replica P5. Matty is going to get P6, but there's obviously some more penalties still to dish out. Glasses is going to get 7th, which means Trick Pines either just let him go or had a spin. He'll come across the line most likely in P9, because Mayhem didn't get a penalty. There you go, Mayhem's in P8, Trick Pines in P9. Harvey, because of his spin, he was about 15 seconds ahead of everyone. He's going to come home in P10. So 1 point for Harvey instead of a possible 27 really that he should have got. We've got Jim and Tonic and Plays who are going to make their way across the line. So Lewis gets the feature win. Not bad at all. Gaz P2. I think he'll be happy with that. I think he would have wanted the win, but under the circumstances, 2 safety cars. Replica Gaming picks up driver of the day as well. So on to the sprint we go. Feature was 15, so sprint's probably 11. I think it's 11, like 11 or 10. It's one of them. But there's the final standings. We will screenshot that for Cuba. So hopefully, I don't know how it went last week. We're going to just roll straight in to the sprint, and we're not going to have to do a lobby reset because some people can't pick A. It shows the time, so I know Harvey was on fresh mediums, but 129.7, 8/10 quicker than the fastest time set by Lewis. So the pace was there. Same with Matty, 30.9, setting a faster lap than the 3 cars ahead of him. So let's hope we roll into a sprint race. But yeah, just a shout. He did get driver of the day, but I think the best overtake that I saw was definitely Replica's down into P1. Really nice overtake from him. Let's see if we're going to get a sprint race or not. Fingers crossed. We're getting a sprint race. Dubs all round. No confusion like the first week. So just taking a quick look at the grid. Matty's in a really good position. So is QWERTY. They're the two that stand out. I think Matty will look to try and get past Glasses and Mayhems as quickly as possible. Then you've got a nice chunk of the quick boys. Gaz, Lewis, Harvey. Trix showed pace at times, but a little bit too spinny. We're going to have a formation lap. Both Dam's cars are back in the race. They missed a good chunk of the action. Still don't know what happened between them. I don't know if they took each other out or if they just, by chance, both binned it at the exact same corner at the exact same time. Inspector Eck has already just disqualified himself. He doesn't feel like doing a formation lap. My predictions, I think Matty will either win or I think minimum he should be getting a podium. I think QWERTY will fight up there, go for a win or a podium. And I think Lewis is going to have a good race from P8. He's going to get some good points in the sprint as well, maybe a P3. I think Gaz will be up there, I think Harvey will be up there. I think the issue with the sprint that a lot of the quicker people find who dominate or win the features is you've got to get past those people who have been finishing behind you in the features. The people you know you're quicker than, but getting past them is a different story. And unlike the feature where, you know, you have a pit stop that you can make, safety cars can save you, sprint races is different. You know, if you pit, yeah, you could put on some fresh tyres and change your front wing, but you're still going to come out of the back of the grid. So if you do bid it, you really need to pray for a safety car. Because usually, if you bid it, it's pretty much over. Also, it's good to call out that most of the time I did just say fresh tyres. You don't have fresh tyres for the sprint race. You've used up most of your tyres. I mean, I think you get... Do you get 2 softs and 2 mediums? Or is it 3 softs and 2 mediums? Well, you're on your second pair of mediums now. As Matty has binned it under the formation lap, that puts my prediction on the ropes. But yeah, I think you get 2 pairs of mediums. One you use in the feature, one you use in the sprint. And it's either 2 softs or it's 3 softs. And obviously one of those you use in qualifying, one of them you start on in the race, so... I'm not sure if they have fresh tyres or not. You usually don't need to worry about that because you make it to the end on these tyres. Also, yeah, to answer about the mediums not making it to the end, it's lap 11, so they can do 4 laps in the feature. So here we go. The lights are on. The lights are off, and we are away. So we saw second get a good start in the feature. He hasn't got a good start in the sprint. We've got QWERTY on the back of Matty. We're going to hop on the back cam of Glasses. Here comes Matty diving around the outside. We've also got QWERTY looking to go the long way around. Glasses just going to drive off the track. Clean overtake from Matty around the outside, braking later. We've got some carnage at the back, but everyone looks to have made it through safely. Well done to the boys. Plazy has gone down the inside of Inspector around the long right-hander. We're going to jump on board with Matty, who's gone side by side with Glasses for the lead, who's going to dive later. There's Mayhems as well, who's diving off the track, and he's going to semi-spin, which has led a rippling effect. We've got cars spinning all over the place. There's 3-4 cars off. Replica, Pete, Plazy, DG Rocks, all of them spinning. I don't know if that was caused by the spin. But Glasses has kept the lead. QWERTY is now up into P2. really good start from him. Matty has dropped back. He had to slam on the brakes to avoid front wing damage, which he's got away with, thankfully for him. Mayhem's is dropping back from the field now from P1. He's down in P6. We've got Gaz up into P4. Yellow flag, there's a spin. QWERTY is out. The front runner, one of the favourites to win this sprint from me. We've got a virtual safety car. We've got more cars at the back. Harvey's had problems. Remember I said, doesn't matter how quick you are, if you can't get through the field, you're going to have a rough day, and he's had a rough day. Lewis is also down there. So I don't know if they've come together or they've just got caught up in the mess. But that's 3 of pretty much the fastest drivers out. Or more out of contention, really. We've got a full safety car. So that's good for those who sustain damage, which I presume most of these guys have. Inspector has picked up a 5-second penalty. Blazes into the pits. The Juicy has just hit the safety car and lost all of his front wing. I don't know what happened there. Him and Travis went side by side under the safety car. Interesting. So the Juicy's going to have to come in for a new front wing. So now this changes things. Gaz is up into P3. He's had an absolute wonderful start. Stayed out of trouble. Now in a podium position. Let's have a look at position changes. So mega start. It's a shame that the Juicy has actually picked up that front wing damage, because up 9 positions, him and Travis had an absolute mega start. Obviously that was down to mostly the cars spinning in front of them, but positions are positions. And yeah, just confirmation of the absolute stinky starts from Lewis and Harvey, both down 6 and 5 positions respectively. They've got another chance at least to try and get some points, but more cars they've got to get past. Trick Pines also, I said that there was a bit more pace that he could show, that he showed in qualifying and didn't really show in the feature. He's up 5 positions into P4. Mayhem's obviously losing out from pole position. He's now down in P5, but still points for him. So the safety car will most likely stay out, maybe for a lap, maybe 2. So as expected, the Juicy is coming for a new front wing, and obviously those guys who pitted, I was about to say, is he really going to go out with no tyre? Those guys who pitted had to pit for old softs or old mediums, so they've had to come back in to put on the mediums that they started on. And that's the problem, like I was saying at the start, is you don't really have any fresh sets of tyres, so if you have to pit, you're going to go onto older tyres, which either means you're two-stopping, you're doing the whole race on used tyres, or, you know, you're basically screwed. So they've got to now catch up massively. They're about 40 seconds behind the leaders, who are now most likely going to have to stay out another lap. Mind you, in a sprint, not only the top 8 get points. Now the safety car, I think, will most likely stay out. The Juicy is back in. I think he's realised that that pit stop's put him on his old medium, so he's having to pit again. Sometimes the safety car waits for the entire grid, sometimes it doesn't if it's got the majority, so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if it stays out just to let the likes of Plays and Harvey and even the Juicy, who's just pitted again, to catch up, or if it's just gonna bun them off and go with the first 12 cars that they've got. So it looks like the safety car is staying out another lap. The Juicy has somehow picked up a 3-second penalty despite being at the back and under a safety car. The Juicy gonna the Juicy. I'm going to quickly use this downtime to check the football scores. Chelsea are winning against Villarreal. Ziyech is on a mad one this season. Forest winning, QPR are winning. No one interesting basically. Probably slap on that Chelsea game once this is done. Hopefully they bottle it. Big Unai Emery. So safety car should 100% be in this lap. The Juicy should catch up in time. So we're going to have about 5 laps of racing. Bar any more safety car or spinning shenanigans, I think the race for the lead should be between Matty and Gaz. Both we've seen have a mistake so far tonight. So who knows what can happen. Safety car is in this lap. El Glass is going to control the pace through the final sector. We saw QWERTY go super early towards the beginning of the Parabolica. We then saw him go super late. It didn't really work out for him. So it's just finding that sweet spot. Try and catch those cars behind napping. I read an article that under a safety car, the worst position to actually be in is P2. I don't know why. I think presumably because the guys behind have got a better judgment of when they're going. Ooh, that's cheeky. Oh, cute. Oh, El Glasses, that's naughty. Gaz is lagging. I thought he took out Matty there. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets sent to the stewards, because it looked like El Glasses went, everyone else went, and then he stopped. I don't know if that's the case. I'd have to see Matty's onboard, because Matty was certainly going at full pace, and then El Glasses just stopped, which obviously caused everyone else to stop. And then El Glasses looked like he pushed Gaz onto the grass, but Gaz is going to try and fight back into P2. Very nice move indeed. Yeah, we'll definitely have to see that back again. I'm fully expecting that to be sent to the stewards. Quite cheeky there. I don't think Gaz is going to care too much. He hasn't got damage, and he's right on the back of El Glasses now. We've got a yellow flag at the back. Doesn't look like there's any cars off at the moment. Trip Pine's also on the back of Matthew. We're going to hop on board with this fight because we can see Gaz and El Glasses together as well. Gaz isn't going to go up the inside, but Trip Pine's going to go around the outside of Matty. Very nice move indeed. Might have picked up a warning for that as well. Now he's right on the back of the front too. So Matty dropping back. Matty has spun I said that they had pace, but I did say that they had a spin in them as well. And Matty is out of contention. Just seeing that cut at the perfect time. The Juicy is out. There's Matty recovering now, and we have another safety car. So now we're at minimum going to get, or maximum, sorry, 2 or 3 laps of racing. Gaz is also down to 11th. I don't know what happened there. I'll be honest, I was too busy looking at what was going on behind. I have no idea what happened to Gaz. But he's now out of contention pretty much. Oh, I really hope Gaz did get taken out. L Glasses keeps the lead. Trick Pines up 7 in P2. Travis up to P3. He was super chuffed with his performance in France in round 1. I don't know how well he done last week, but on for another podium if he can hold on. DG Rocker behind in P4. Harvey back up to P5. So he's back in the race for the win. So safety car is going to stay out for 1 extra lap, which means we're going to get 3 laps of racing. Let's hope for a cleaner safety car getaway this time. I've now got to make a new prediction because I've got every single one wrong so far, like from qualifying, so you better hope that I don't say your name right now. I think I'm gonna go for DG Rocker to win, Harvey to get second, and Travis to get P3. Something has happened to Gaz. He has dropped back again. He's lost his front wing. Gaz is out of it now completely. I don't know what's happening to him. I don't know if he's spinning on his own or if he's hitting people. We'll have to ask him in the Discord afterwards. Yeah, that's my prediction. Actually, no, I lie, because DG Rocker's got a penalty, hasn't he? DG Rocker's got a 5-second penalty. Never mind. I'm going to go for Harvey to win, Travis in second, and Trick Pines in P3. Right, well, let's go then. Safety car is coming in this lap. What is happening with Gaz? Gaz is overtaking everyone, presumably to maybe try and pit again. But off goes Gaz. I don't know if that means he controls the pace. Gaz has been disqualified for ignoring yellow flags, which is to be expected. Glasses is going to go super late. Again, accelerated and then stopped. Not allowed to do that. But he moves on. Gaz is in the middle of the road. Here comes DG Rocker. Straight up the outside. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top? It's going to be DG Rocker, who just hit the front wing of the dams. 2 of them go off. He's going to come out in second place. Trick Pines has dropped back. Travis is now up into P2. Harvey up into P3. He's not giving up the position yet, DG Rocker. It looked like he just outbroke himself and maybe carried the ART car with him. He's going to hold back for now. There's Harvey misjudging his braking point. He's going to have to go straight on. He's going to give the Carlin car the position, also loses the position to Gym and Tonic as well, which is sensible from Harvey. Well done, because he shouldn't have had that position anyway. So Travis is leading. He's got past El Glasses, so Travis could end up winning this race. The cars around him are probably around at a similar pace as him in these F2 cars, so Travis can just build up a gap to El Glasses. He's going to win. Which looks like he is already. El Glasses is struggling. El Glasses is out. We saw him struggle through Ascari. DG Rocker is dropping back. I don't know if he has just lost positions. Here comes Harvey up into P2. So far, 2 out of 3 of my podium predictions is happening. I need Trick Pines to make up some positions. Gym and Tonic's not going to give it up yet though. He's going around the outside. Has to pull back for now. But here comes Trick Pines. Has Trick Pines gone off speed? No DRS, of course, yeah. DG Rock still on the outside. Ooh. Trick Pines is going to go up the inside of Gym and Tonic. They've hit. I'm going to quickly look on the replay of this. It looks like on the replay that Gym and Tonic has just gone across as DG Rock goes straight into the back of Gym and Tonic. Plenty of work for the stewards to do, I'll say. Trick Pines is up into P3, so currently my podium prediction is correct. I just need Harvey and Travis to swap positions. And as much as Harvey is my F1 teammate, I kind of want Travis to win this race. He's got to hold on for about a lap and a half. He's got a 1 second gap. Yeah, it's tough to say, that decision. It looked like from my screen that Gym and Tonic has just cut across DG Rocker. But then again, I caught it very late, so I'm sure the stewards will have a better view than I will. Harvey has now got within that second gap of Travis. I don't know if he's going to get DRS yet. Let's have a look. I don't think he will. Nope. DRS should be back active this lap. Harvey is the fastest car on the track. Travis has got to hold on for 1 more lap, 1 more second. This is going to be the fight we're going to stay on. I know there's close battles at the moment between Matty and Lewis in the fight for P4, but this is the main battle. Can Travis hold on? He was saying in the admin chat a couple of days ago about how he's not expecting to ever get a win. I don't know if he's counting F2 in that, but he's a lap away from his first win. If my information is correct, I don't think he's won a race. He hasn't had the best second chicane. Harvey now just 3/10 behind. DRS should be active, so he's going to have it down in the run to Ascari. Travis is going to hold on for all his might. If Harvey has got a soul, he'll let Travis win. There's a yellow flag at the back. We don't care. DRS is active. Harvey is going to maybe look to throw it up the inside of Ascari. Is he going to be close enough? He gained on Travis, gain on Travis, gain on Travis. Going up the outside, holds back for now. It's going to come down to the Parabolica. Travis hasn't got the best run, and here comes Harvey. Travis going to lose it. There's a car at the back. That's Trix Pines. My podium positions is out of the window. Come on, Travis, get it back. Travis is going to go down to the final corner. Travis around the outside. I think Harvey's just got him. Harvey has spoilt the party. It's bittersweet, but Harvey's going to cross the line. Is he going to know? He's going to let Travis through. Travis wins the Italian sprint race. Harvey comes home in second. Lewis the Beast gets P3. I think for that, Harvey deserves a statue, an F1ABEEZ statue. Travis wins the sprint race. Driver of the day is Harvey, not only for his recovery, but for giving Travis the win. What a race. Full of contention. But Travis picks up the trophy. Bear in mind he started, I think, P14 or P15. And he's won. Harvey gets second. Ormore first. And Lewis, it was the wrong ART car. I said his teammate was going to get it. But Lewis gets P3, so all around, good weekend from Lewis. P1 in the feature, P3 in the sprint, which obviously gives him 37 points overall. Gaz still gets P2 for that P2 that he got in the feature, but DNF in the sprint. Couple of close calls between P3 and P7, but that is your final scores. Decent race, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you again next week.